Chapter 3: Environmental Governance in Post-War Settings. Environmental governance in post-war settings such as Ukraine faces significant challenges that require a thorough and strategic approach that includes environmental rehabilitation as an integral part of reconstruction and sustainable development. In the aftermath of war, damage to infrastructure, soil and water contamination, and loss of biodiversity are immediate problems that need attention. In Ukraine, the war has left areas highly contaminated by unexploded ordnance, chemicals and war debris, posing serious risks to human health and the environment. In this situation, efficient planning is needed to provide effective solutions that protect the country's infrastructure, citizens, and ecosystems. Despite significant challenges, there are opportunities to improve environmental conditions and promote a more resilient and sustainable recovery, although it's not easy to create sustainable policies and strategies for effective reconstruction. Lack of trained personnel and financial resources limits the effectiveness of environmental policies. The indivisible nature of the environment and its inextricable linkages with the social and economic dimensions of sustainable development depend on good decision-making processes, effective institutions, policies, laws, rules, and regulations. When war ravages a country, economic reconstruction and the provision of basic services, such as water, electricity, and health, often take priority over environmental issues for the respective government. First, it must be ensured that citizens are safe and have their basic needs met. This can delay the implementation of environmental protection and rehabilitation measures. In addition, conflict-affected areas may remain insecure, making recovery operations difficult. Rural areas, in particular, may remain dangerous due to the presence of landmines and other explosives. One of the main challenges is the lack of resources and institutional capacities to effectively manage these problems. War not only destroys physical infrastructure, but also the institutions responsible for environmental protection, weakening their capacity to respond. In addition, the urgent need to rebuild infrastructure and revive the economy can lead to the prioritization of economic over environmental considerations, which may result in unsustainable reconstruction. In extreme situations such as war, governments prioritize some aspects over others, and when the population is frightened, has had to flee the country, and there is no sense of security. Reconstruction often starts with restoring infrastructure and reviving the economy, for example. In order not to create inequality, it is crucial to implement strategies that balance economic reconstruction with environmental sustainability. First, a comprehensive environmental damage assessment must be carried out to identify the most affected areas and priority interventions. International cooperation is essential at this stage, providing technical and financial support to assess and mitigate environmental impacts. Post-conflict reconstruction is a critical process that goes beyond the simple restoration of infrastructure and services. It also represents a unique opportunity to rethink and redesign the social, economic, and environmental systems of an affected region. The inclusion of environmental criteria in reconstruction policies can be an important step. This involves establishing clear regulations for waste management, cleanup of contaminated areas, and biodiversity conservation. Reconstruction practices should incorporate sustainable materials and clean technologies, minimizing the ecological footprint of new developments. Integrating environmental sustainability into new developments during this process not only contributes to immediate recovery, but also lays the foundation for a more resilient and equitable future. Involving local communities in the planning and implementation of environmental projects can increase the effectiveness and sustainability of interventions. Communities often have valuable local knowledge and a direct stake in the restoration of their environment. The powerful cathartic component that this direct involvement in rebuilding their home can have is also a valuable asset. International aid and non-governmental organizations, NGOs, can play a crucial role in post-conflict environmental governance by providing financial resources and technical expertise. Examples of this include assistance from the UN and other international organizations in countries such as Iraq and Afghanistan. Training of local staff and strengthening of environmental institutions are essential for effective governance. This can include training in waste management, environmental monitoring, and environmental emergency response. Conducting comprehensive environmental assessments and establishing monitoring systems can help identify the most affected areas and prioritize actions. Assessments are also useful to ensure that interventions are effective and adaptive. In general, post-war reconstruction is extremely complicated. The efforts of all parties involved have to be brought together to get the devastated country or region back on track. If, in addition, we want to integrate a sustainable approach to reconstruction, the matter becomes more complicated, but this does not mean that it is not possible. In fact, as we will see below, there are cases of successful reconstruction where a sustainable vision has been integrated. Examples of successful initiatives: Rwanda. After the genocide, Rwanda has integrated strict environmental policies, such as banning plastic bags and promoting reforestation, which has contributed to its remarkable economic and social recovery. Liberia. After its devastating civil war, Liberia implemented significant reforms in forest management, a crucial sector for its economy and environment, with international support, which has led to improved conservation and sustainable use of forest resources. With international support, especially from organizations such as the World Bank and FAO, Liberia implemented several significant measures. Legal and policy framework. A more robust legal framework was established, including the 2006 National Forestry Reform Law, which sought to ensure transparency and sustainability in forest management. Forestry Development Authority. The Forestry Development Authority, FDA, was created to oversee and regulate the use of forest resources, ensuring that forest concessions met environmental and social standards. Community participation. The participation of local communities in forest management was promoted, ensuring that the benefits of logging also reach local people. Transparency and monitoring. The LiberFor system and other monitoring mechanisms were implemented to track timber from forest to market, reducing illegal logging. Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the aftermath of the 1990s conflict, intensive environmental remediation work was carried out with the support of international agencies such as the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, which led efforts to clean up sites contaminated with hazardous waste, significantly improving public health and the natural environment. These projects included the remediation of contaminated land and the safe management of toxic waste. In addition, several projects were implemented to rebuild agricultural communities, promoting sustainable agricultural practices and ecosystem conservation, including sustainable agriculture, promotion of sustainable agricultural practices that conserve the environment, community empowerment, training and support to local farmers in modern and sustainable techniques and in the formation of agricultural cooperatives, infrastructure and services, the reconstruction of basic infrastructure in rural areas, such as irrigation systems and roads, was crucial to revitalize the agricultural economy and improve living conditions. Both Liberia and Bosnia and Herzegovina demonstrated that, with the right support and a strong commitment to reform, meaningful post-conflict environmental recovery is possible. Lessons learned from their experiences underline the importance of an integrated approach that includes improved legal frameworks, community participation, transparency, and international technical and financial support. These efforts not only promote environmental sustainability, but also contribute to the economic and social stability of conflict-affected nations. Toolkit 3. Negotiating Table for the Environment. Title of the activity: Environmental Negotiation Table. Aim of the activity: to simulate a negotiation for participants to develop dialogue and collaboration skills, understanding the perspectives and needs of different actors, government, NGOs, businesses, local communities, involved in the environmental protection and restoration of a post-war area. Description of the activity. In this dynamic, participants will represent different actors with specific interests in the environmental restoration of a conflict-affected region. Each group will have to defend their interests and negotiate with others to reach an agreement that benefits the environment and local communities. This activity promotes empathy and understanding of the challenges facing collaborative processes in post-conflict contexts. Materials needed: roll cards, one for each group or participant. Sheets of paper and pens for taking notes. Large table or ample space to carry out the simulation. Optional: biscuits or some incentive for those who manage to reach agreements to make the activity more playful. Duration of the activity, 45 to 60 minutes. Group size, 6 to 12 participants, or groups if working with larger numbers. Step-by-step instructions. Introduction, 10 minutes. Explain to the participants the objective of the activity and give a brief description of the interests and motivations of the actors they will be representing. Government, NGOs, local businesses, affected communities, etc. Each group or participant will assume one of these roles. Distribution of roles, 5 minutes. Assign roles to each participant or group. Make sure they have a good understanding of the interests and limitations of their role. For example, government. It wants to restore the environment, but at the lowest possible cost. Environmental NGO prioritizes full ecosystem recovery regardless of time and cost. Local businesses. They need resources from the region for their economic activity and seek low-impact solutions. Local community wants to restore their livelihoods and ensure the availability of natural resources such as water and fertile land. Preparation of strategies, 10 minutes. Each group will discuss in private the strategies and arguments they will use for the negotiation. They should decide what their red lines are, where they will not give in, and where they are willing to negotiate. Negotiation table, 20 minutes. Bring everyone together at a negotiating table. Each group will present its demands and listen to the demands of the others. The groups will then negotiate, trying to reach an agreement that at least partially satisfies all parties. The facilitator can intervene to mediate if necessary and remind participants that the goal is to reach an agreement. Final agreement, 5 minutes. At the end, each group should express whether they agree with the agreed restoration plan, and if not, explain why. If they do not agree, they can discuss what obstacles prevented them from reaching an agreement and what solutions they might try in the future. Reflection and closure. After the negotiation, bring participants together for a group reflection. Some questions to guide the reflection could be: how did you feel you represented the interests of your role? What did you find most difficult in trying to reach an agreement? How do you think this simulation resembles real negotiations on environmental issues? What did you learn about the importance of collaboration and engagement in environmental problem solving? Stimulating evaluation. Assessment of merits and impact points. To make the evaluation more motivating, we propose a merit evaluation at the end of the activity, where the groups can recognize each other's achievements and reflect on the impact of their proposals. Recognition of achievement, 5 minutes. Each group has the opportunity to award another group a medal or stamp of recognition in the following categories. This encourages peer recognition and motivates participants to excel in different aspects. Compromise medal, to the group that showed the most flexibility in reaching an agreement. Creativity medal, to the group that came up with the most original and viable solutions. Persuasion medal, to the group that made the best arguments to defend their interests. Collaboration medal, to the group that showed the greatest willingness to work together with others. Each group chooses one of these medals to give to another group and briefly explains their choice. This creates an atmosphere of respect and appreciation for each other's work. Impact points, 5 minutes. After awarding the medals, the groups reflect on the environmental impact of the agreements they reached. Each group assigns positive impact points based on 3 criteria that they write on the board or on large sheets of paper. Environmental benefit. How effective is the solution in restoring the environment? Social benefit. How does the solution help the local community? Long-term viability. Is it realistic and sustainable over time? Groups assign between 1 and 5 points to each criterion for their proposal, and the facilitator can invite them to share their reasons for these scores. This helps young people reflect on the effectiveness and sustainability of their solutions. Activity variance. If you have more participants, you can add other actors, such as media, seeking transparency, or youth activist groups, seeking long-term solutions. You can also do a second round of negotiation with a change of roles so that participants experience different perspectives. Tips for the facilitator. It helps participants to put themselves in the place of their roles, reminding them of the specific interests of each actor. Avoid intervening too much, but if you notice that one group is completely winning, Remind the others that in a negotiation, everyone must give up something in order to reach an agreement. If time permits, introduce some unforeseen obstacle, such as a resource constraint or a new actor coming to the table, to make the negotiation more realistic. Additional notes. This activity is ideal for working on communication, negotiation, and conflict resolution skills. It can be an excellent introduction to real-life issues of environmental diplomacy and interagency collaboration. Adaptations can also be made to include international actors, if you wish to extend the context of the activity. Chapter 4. Education for Environmental Literacy in the Post-War Era. Education plays a crucial role in promoting environmental literacy, as it is through education that the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values necessary to understand and address environmental challenges can be acquired. It is essential that from an early age, children are instilled with values of care and respect for the environment, so that they can become responsible citizens who value their natural environment and protect it to the best of their ability. Below is a breakdown of some key points about its importance and how it can positively impact on environmental education. First, fundamental knowledge development. Education provides the knowledge base necessary to understand the scientific and ecological concepts underlying environmental problems. This includes the study of biodiversity, climate change, biogeochemical cycles, and sustainability. It is important to educate about environmental care from an early age, so that future generations grow up understanding and respecting the natural environment around them. A variety of environmental education resources, such as experiential learning, recycling programs, community service projects, field trips, and classroom debates, can be implemented in primary schools to cultivate pupils' understanding of environmental issues. Environmental education must become a basic pillar of education. It is essential that school children understand the importance of respecting nature. Only then will they become truly involved in caring for it and, as far as possible, reduce their environmental impact. 2. Understanding interconnectedness. Human activities and ecosystems are closely interconnected. Every individual and collective action can have global repercussions. This understanding is crucial to promote more sustainable and environmentally conscious behavior. Understanding the interconnectedness between our activities and ecosystems is essential to making informed decisions that promote sustainability. Individual actions, when multiplied on a collective scale, can generate significant and positive changes in the health of our planet. Adopting sustainable and conscious practices not only benefits local ecosystems, but also contributes to global stability and resilience in the face of environmental challenges. Third, critical skills development. Skills such as critical thinking, problem-solving, and decision-making are essential to address environmental challenges. Education helps develop these skills by involving students in hands-on activities, experiments, and projects that require analysis and evaluation of environmental information. 4. Changing attitudes and values. Through education, positive attitudes and values towards the environment can be fostered. This includes respect for nature, valuing biodiversity, and recognizing the importance of sustainability. Educational programs that incorporate environmental ethics can influence the behaviors and decisions of individuals. 5. Awareness and sensitization. Education raises awareness of environmental issues and their impact both locally and globally. Through educational campaigns, workshops, and teaching materials, the community can be made aware of the importance of protecting the environment and adopting sustainable practices. 6th, community participation and engagement. Environmental education encourages active participation in the community. Initiatives such as conservation projects, nature cleanups, and recycling programs can engage students and citizens, promoting a sense of responsibility and collective action. Workshops and seminars offer environmental education to the community through workshops, seminars, and awareness campaigns. Volunteering. Promote volunteer programs in conservation and sustainability projects. 7. Training environmental educators and leaders. It is vital to train educators so that they can effectively impart environmental knowledge. Furthermore, education can develop environmental leaders who are able to influence public policy and lead sustainability initiatives. 8. Curricular integration. The inclusion of environmental education in school and university curricula ensures that all students have access to this knowledge from an early age. This can include subjects dedicated to the environment, as well as the integration of environmental issues into other subjects. For example, environmental topics can be included in disciplines such as natural sciences, geography and social studies, and school projects involving environmental research and action, such as school gardens or recycling programs, can be encouraged. 9. Use of innovative technologies and resources. Educational technologies such as simulations, interactive applications, and online platforms can enrich teaching and learning about the environment. These resources can make learning more engaging and accessible. Digital resources. Use digital platforms and apps to educate and raise awareness on environmental issues. Social media. Disseminate information and mobilize society through social media campaigns. 10th. Promotion of scientific research. Education can encourage students to participate in scientific research related to the environment. This not only contributes to academic knowledge, but can also lead to innovative solutions to environmental problems. 11th. Education policy and program development. Governmental and non-governmental policies and programs that support environmental education are essential. These policies can ensure funding, development of appropriate curricula, and implementation of training programs for educators. Education is therefore an essential component of environmental literacy, providing the tools necessary to understand and address current and future environmental challenges. By empowering people with knowledge and skills, education can lead to a society that is more aware of and committed to environmental protection and sustainability. Benefits of an environmentally literate society. Environmental protection. An informed and engaged society is better able to protect natural resources and conserve biodiversity. Climate resilience. Environmentally educated people can contribute to climate change mitigation and adaptation. Sustainable economy promotes the development of green economies, which seek a balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability. Quality of life improves overall health and well-being by reducing pollution and promoting healthier environments. Environmental education is the process through which society is educated to become aware of the global reality of the planet. In addition to teaching and raising awareness about the importance of the environment, environmental education seeks to create values in citizens and attitudes that promote the rational use of natural resources and the solution to the many environmental problems that occur, mainly in cities. Environmental education equips people with the knowledge and skills needed to address environmental challenges. By fostering awareness, understanding, and action, education can guide society towards a more sustainable and environmentally balanced future. Environmental education is also a process that enables people to investigate environmental issues, engage in problem solving, and take action to improve the environment. As a result, individuals gain a deeper understanding of environmental issues and have the tools to make informed and responsible decisions. Here, we illustrate some case studies of successful environmental education programs in different parts of the world. 1. Roots and Shoots by Jane Goodall Institute. Location: worldwide. Description: Roots and Shoots is a program founded by Jane Goodall in 1991. It is designed to empower young people through local environmental and community care projects. The program focuses on 3 pillars: people, animals, and the environment. Successes: It has engaged millions of young people in more than 100 countries. Successful projects include reforestation, plastic reduction, and animal welfare. Promotes youth leadership and environmental awareness from an early age. Second, Eco-Schools of the Foundation for Environmental Education, FEE. Location: worldwide. Description: Eco-Schools is a global program that works with schools to promote sustainable education. It involves students, teachers, and the school community in environmental projects. Successes: Implemented in more than 70 countries, with more than 59,000 participating schools. Schools have successfully reduced their energy consumption, increased recycling, and created school gardens. Promotes a participatory approach where students lead initiatives. 3. The Costa Rican Environmental Education Program, PEA. Location: Costa Rica. Description: PEA is a national effort that seeks to integrate environmental education into all levels of the Costa Rican education system. Through workshops, practical activities, and modified curricula, the program seeks to raise awareness and educate students about environmental conservation. Successes. It has reached thousands of students across the country. Initiatives include biodiversity conservation, waste management, and climate change education. It has improved environmental awareness and action among Costa Rican youth. 4. Nature Bridge. Location: United States. Description: Nature Bridge offers environmental education programs in several U.S. national parks, including Yosemite, Golden Gate, and Prince William Forest. Its focus is to provide immersive educational experiences in nature. Successes: Engages more than 30,000 students each year in hands-on outdoor learning experiences. Students develop science skills and a greater appreciation for nature. Multi-day programs include hikes, field studies, and conservation projects. 5. Green School Bali. Location: Bali, Indonesia. Description: Green School Bali is an international school that focuses on sustainable and holistic education. It uses a unique curriculum that integrates environmental principles into all areas of learning. Successes: It has received numerous awards and international recognition for its innovative approach. Students are involved in renewable energy, organic farming, and water conservation projects. The school has built its facilities with sustainable materials and uses solar energy. 6th Eco Clubs in Argentina. Location: Argentina. Description: Eco Clubs are youth organizations that focus on promoting sustainability and environmental education in their communities. They work in partnership with schools, local governments, and NGOs. Successes: They have created successful recycling and waste reduction campaigns in several Argentine cities, tree planting projects, and community gardens. The young leaders of the Eco Clubs have influenced local environmental policies. These examples demonstrate how environmental education can take many forms and have a significant impact locally and globally. Successful programs often share characteristics such as active community participation, a focus on practical action, and youth empowerment.